Good evening, everyone. I'm again Khalil Khoreibani, a Lebanese businessman operating in Ivory Coast. I'm excited to share my findings on the relationship between trust, business process integration, and performance in this country. And I'm doing this work under the supervision of Professor Mark Valax. Today, we'll delve into the concepts and context, objectives, methodology, interpretation, implications, and recommendations of my research. Let's start with the concepts and context. Trust, performance, and BPI are key concepts in organizational success. Trust lays the foundation for effective teamwork and communication. Performance measures how efficiently an organization achieves its goals, which is improved through BPI strategies that focus on optimizing processes to enhance productivity. In the context of Ivory Coast, governance and development play crucial roles, shaping a diverse market with multinational and emerging local firms due to open market policies. The business environment is significantly impacted by challenges such as low trust levels and corruption, which evidently hinder transparency and business performance. These challenges are further influenced by the cultural context, affecting the way business operate, and additionally, developing governance structures contribute to the complexity of navigating these challenges. Of course, Ivory Coast, I think, can serve as a model for other African nations facing similar cultural and governance challenges. Accordingly, the objectives of this research project are to investigate the role of BPI in the relationship between trust and performance in the business environment of Ivory Coast, to qualitatively determine the effect of trust on performance given the role of BPI in that relationship, to uncover additional impacts of trust on performance through BPI, and to provide a BPI-based model for understanding the relationship between trust and performance in Ivory Coast. And to achieve these objectives, we ask the following questions. What are the impacts of trust on performance in organizations in Ivory Coast? What is the role of BPI in the relationship between trust and performance? And can BPI play a developmental mediating role between trust and performance? Our research design and methodology, centered on grounded theory, played a pivotal role in creating a unified theoretical explanation for the flow of interactions between trust, workforce performance, BPI, and organizational performance. In addition to the role of BPI in enhancing organization performance through its mediating role between trust and performance. Grounded theory, as a qualitative research design, leads to the development of a theory that would construct the ensuing model. This model is predicated on interrelating the categories of information, participants, relationships, interactions, and processes. In our qualitative research, we prioritized the primacy of data, contextualization, and the immersion in the research environment. We also adopted an emic perspective focusing on the views, perceptions, and interpretations of the participants. We aimed for, of course, as grounded theory, a thick description of our relationships that were based on equality, ensuring that all participants were respected and valued. Finally, triangulation was employed, utilizing multiple methods and sources of data collection to enhance the validity and reliability of our findings. Now, in regards to our data collection, it involves collecting data via observation, interviews, documents, recordings, and literature. We refined the data by selecting, focusing, simplifying, abstracting, and transforming it. Next, we presented the data linguistically and visually using various formats. And finally, we analyzed the data to verify, confirm, deny, and interpret our findings. As for the research design, grounded theory was rooted in field data, while from the theoretical framework provided by the literature to examine its propositions that are listed at the bottom of the slide. We're going to go through them later on. This method allowed us to develop a theory based on the data collected from participants who had experienced the relationships, interactions, and processes between the theoretical constructs. This process led to the creation of a model that interrelated categories of information, collected from participants, organizational profiles, observations, and the literature. And data collection and analysis occurred simultaneously and iteratively, with interviews being the primary method. The data gathered from organizational profiles and interviews were compared with the literature. This was a back and forth work, resulting in the identification of codes and categories. We then used actual coding to extract theoretical constructs from the literature and categorize them in our research design. We analyzed data concurrently with data collection, and then organizational profiles and data gathered from interviews added context to Ivory Coast within each category. And we conducted, of course, interviews until we reached saturation in the categories, showing that we had gathered enough information for theory development. Now, our aim in adopting this specific research design is threefold: generating a sample that represents the social process of interest, collecting public and organizational data, and conducting interviews to generate a comprehensive understanding. The techniques we employed involved theoretical sampling, which is a common approach in grounded theory, particularly for axial coding; purposeful sampling to select the most relevant participants to answer our research questions; and the ongoing interpretation of data, which was crucial for refining our understanding. Lastly, the size of our sample was determined by its ability to sufficiently answer our research question, as previously mentioned. We continued to gather data until new categories and explanations ceased to emerge. Of course, the size also depended on the time and resources available for our research. So we collected data from 10 medium to large companies in Ivory Coast, conducting interviews with 12 managerial and senior level employees, including CEOs and owners. And this was enough to gather diverse perspectives and experiences from the participants. Our analytical model featured two levels of synthesis matrices. Level 1 synthesis matrices organize the data into columns for categories and rows for codes. Level 2 synthesis matrices integrated the codes from across the categories to examine the propositions and develop the theories, hence exploring intersections between trust, BPI, and performance. Within our analytical model, we thoroughly examined the components of each construct, which were retrieved from the literature. For trust, our analysis delved into capability, integrity, dependability, competence, benevolence, and trust propensity. Regarding BPI, we assessed factors like accessibility, timeliness, transparency, granularity of information flow, process efficiency, and process maturity. In evaluating performance, our focus encompassed the achievement of organizational goals, minimization of operational time, and synchronization of processes and operations. Our interpretation of the findings illustrated the propositions presented in the beginning of the research that were now supported, nuanced, and qualified by the data. The first three propositions frame the model for the relationship between trust and performance through the mediation of BPI. These propositions are: trust is integral for developing positive and valuable interpersonal relations within an organization. Interpersonal trust has direct and indirect effects on workforce performance. BPI plays a mediating role in the relationship between trust and organizational performance. After establishing the first three propositions, we now turn to proposition 4 that articulates the model of the relationship between trust and performance via BPI to explain it fully and thoroughly. Proposition 4. BPI enhances organizational performance through its mediating role in the relationship between trust and performance. So scholars emphasize the interconnectedness of logistical, functional, and operational components in BPI for enhanced performance. Our research supports this, showing that trust in BPI relies on holistic integration of operations, processes, and information sharing. This integrated approach, combined with interpersonal trust, improves efficiency by minimizing redundancies and reducing operational time, improving information sharing, synchronizing operations and communication, encouraging knowledge sharing and role distribution, stressing collaboration and improving accountability, and hence leading to measurable gains in trust and performance. Now, despite initial doubts about the necessity of high levels of trust Alongside tightly controlled BPI, interviewees acknowledged the mutual influence between BPI and trust on performance. Embedded and flexible control points in effective BPI models support teamwork and trust, which enhance organizational performance by mediating the relationship between trust and performance. Interpersonal trust, hence, plays a vital role in the success of BPI and its impact on organizational performance. BPI models that effectively and manages interpersonal relations, uh, which amplifies the positive effect of trust on performance. Now, low trust levels hinder information sharing and BPI integration, leading to decreased performance. Trust and BPI are mutually reinforcing, with BPI serving as a crucial mediator in enhancing performance, especially in contexts like the Ivory Coast. Okay, we'll now start exploring the managerial implications and recommendations of the study. The managerial implications are grounded into three main categories. One, leadership and strategic direction. Managers are pivotal in providing effective leadership and aligning BPI initiatives with strategic objectives and ensure long-term organizational goals are met through daily operations. Number two, managerial functions and decision-making. Leaders and managers are key in operational decisions with BPI. Indeed, BPI intersects with managerial responsibilities, optimizing organizational performance through effective operational organization. Number three, communication, collaboration, and interpersonal relations. Managers use BPI to foster communication and collaboration, promoting trust and cooperation within and between teams. They should ensure BPI procedures enhance interpersonal trust, enhancing organizational leadership and collaborative goal achievement. Now, these implications lead to a set of recommendations. I'm going to comment on each one of them. One, managerial importance of BPI implementations. So managers must recognize and implement BPI systems effectively to streamline operations, improve collaboration, and enhance efficiency. This involves assessing existing processes, aligning BPI with organizational goals, and conducting test cycles before full implementation. Number two, leveraging the strategic role of interpersonal trust. Managers should foster trust through team building initiatives and support collaboration. Incorporating BPI into trust-based processes reinforces organizational values and culture, hence enhancing performance. Number three, investment in IS and technology in general. Advanced technology facilitates BPI implementation, enhancing communication and collaboration. Managers should stay informed about emerging technologies and strategically integrate them into BPI systems. Number four, communication and information. Transparent communication about BPI implementation progress fosters trust and collaboration. Regular updates engage employees and distribute benefits across the organization. Number five, training, professional development, and performance assessment. Continuous training and development programs integrated with BPI enhance trust and performance. Managers should tailor programs to organizational needs and assess performance based on trust-related metrics. Number six, managerial priority and organizational culture. Managers must expect resistance to BPI and employ change management strategies. Consistent communication and shared values uphold organizational culture and nurture trust in the workplace. We also propose the following recommendations at the organizational level, along with their practical applications. And this is an ongoing process. Number one, align trust with BPI with performance goals. This alignment fosters a culture of trust directed towards performance. Clear objectives, transparency, and leadership role modeling contribute to shaping an effective BPI aligned with organizational goals. Number two, invest in trust building as an integrated process. Cultivating trust within and across hierarchical levels should be part of achieving organizational goals through BPI. Employee development and training empower teams to utilize the BPA system effectively. Number three, develop and apply robust BPI systems. Organizations need adaptable, custom-made BPI systems tailored to their specific needs, considering factors like size, hierarchy, and complexity of operations. These systems should continuously analyze, optimize, and automate processes, integrating trust metrics to mediate between trust and performance. Number four, leverage technology and customize information system. While advanced IS may not be essential for smaller organizations, technology improves BPI, especially in data analytics and automation. Customized IS should reflect the organization's commitment to transparency and process improvement. Number five, foster collaboration and communication through BPI. BPI should encourage collaboration and communication, fostering a work environment that promotes knowledge sharing and teamwork. The environment enhances both trust and performance, leading to better organizational outcomes. Number six, implement systematic assessment procedures. Organizations should set KPIs to gauge trust and BPI effects on performance, integrating them into systematic assessments. Recognizing successes boosts motivation and lessens the necessity for strict controls. Regular monitoring and adjustments maintain procedure effectiveness. In the interest of time, we will now focus on only 3 out of the 6 organizational recommendations. I'm going to present some practical application for them. Number one, to align trust with BPI and performance goals within 4 to 6 months, collaboration with HR is essential to synchronize individual performance goals with trust and BPI objectives. This involves communicating the alignment strategy to all employees and implementing a performance appraisal system that incorporates trust and BPI metrics. The resources required include HR support for goal attainment, collaboration from upper management and managers, communication materials for employees, and performance appraisal softwares. Number two, investing in trust building as an integrated process over 1 to 3 months involves conducting workshops and training sessions for all employees, establishing a trust building committee to oversee initiatives, and integrating trust building activities into team building events. The necessary resources include internal and external facilitators for workshops, training materials, and a dedicated budget for trust building events. Number three, developing and applying robust BPI systems within 7 to 12 months requires forming a BPI task force to identify improvement areas, implementing BPI methodologies for process enhancement, and establishing regular review sessions and updates. Resources include BPI experts or consultants, training programs on BPI methodologies, and technology for process mapping and analysis. Thank you very much indeed. I'm open to your questions.